Today I'd like to talk about relearning the instrument that you played as a child or returning to an instrument after a long break. In my case, I returned to playing the violin after a 16-year break. If you are thinking of doing the same, I'd like to give you the top 7 benefits I experienced as a result of relearning the violin. The first benefit I experienced was empowerment. That is how I felt when I decided to end my 16-year break. When I decided to go back to the violin, I had 3 things in mind. 1, life is too short. 2, I'm not getting any younger. And 3, life is only going to get crazier and busier. And I was absolutely right about all 3. When I went back to the violin, it was not overnight. It was baby steps. First thing I did was to retrieve my instrument. At the time, this was at my parents' house. That was the first thing. And there was a lot of baby steps after that. So I would encourage you today that if you're thinking about going back to the violin, think baby steps. I'd love to hear in the comments what your baby step was. Benefit number 2 is finding personal satisfaction. For me, that means playing music that I really enjoy. Here's the great news. You can find personal satisfaction at any stage, whether you are a day 1 beginner or you are an accomplished violinist or somewhere in between. I encourage you today, what is it that moves you? Comment down below and let me know what music you love to play. The third benefit is finding your musical community. When I first returned to the violin, as excited as I was, I still felt very isolated. I joked around that I was a party of one playing to my stuffed animals. I would play for my family, and they have been very graceful and supportive of me. But I think I wanted something more. I just wasn't sure what that was. It wasn't until I got connected with a local violin teacher who recommended the Adult Music Student Forum. This is a local organization that hosts recitals throughout the year. You could be at any level and perform recitals, and it was at one of those recitals that I met the trio of women who would invite me to join their group and create a quartet. So shout out to the Hampton String Quartet, and we've been playing together now for 8+ years. I'd eventually like to join a community orchestra, and I can see my musical social network increasing from there. So just know that if you want to join some form of musical community, it is out there. You just gotta keep open to the opportunities that are out there. The next benefit I have discovered with the violin is brain health. This is a topic that deserves its own full video, but for the purposes of this video, I'm gonna tell you this. I am firmly convinced that playing the violin is going to help my brain long term. I am at a stage in life where I feel like I need all the help I can get. Now, there is a lot of research out there on the benefits of music on the brain, both listening and playing. So there have been times after a pretty intense lesson with my teacher that I have said to him, my brain hurts. But I think like a great workout, when your muscles are a little sore, you know that you are growing. And I'm firmly convinced that playing music is strengthening my brain. The next benefit is something I did not anticipate, but I think is definitely worth mentioning. And that is playing an instrument is a wonderful example to our children. It teaches them a good work ethic. So for me, my kids have seen me make goals and work towards them. They've seen me plan out how I'm going to get to that goal. They've seen me put in the time and the hours and the sweat to get to that goal. Now they've seen me flounder and they've seen me make a lot of mistakes, but that's good because I'm gonna show them how I pick myself back up. While I don't And so I think playing an instrument has allowed me to show my kids how to set goals, how to make an action plan. And so I'm hoping that as time goes on, they will take on some of those positive skills with them in their own lives. The next benefit I discovered is opportunities to face my fears. I have a few fears, one of them being spiders. The other one is performing. Nothing will elicit a major stress response in my body quite like getting ready for a recital. And I have played a few and I have survived, but my biggest fear is getting up there and forgetting my music, like my brain just blanking out and having a huge memory lapse. Now, I also perform with my string quartet, and I initially thought safety in numbers. It's gonna be less scary because I'm with a group. I still get nervous, and here's what I've learned. It gets better. The more you do it, the better it gets. Even if it's just a fraction of a fraction better, it's still an improvement. It still gets better. So take heed, my friends. If you are fearful of performing like myself, just know that you will survive, you will get through it, you will learn from it, and it will get better. Last but not least is enjoying the process, trusting the process. I know in my life, I want to skip from point A to point Z. I want to get to the finished, polished concerto without all the hours and hours and hours of work. But the truth is, the magic happens in the learning. That's where it all happens. And I encourage you, my friend, to enjoy that process. Trust it, because it leads to great places. So there you have it, my list of the top 7 benefits I've experienced since returning to the violin. I know that there are so many more benefits that I haven't even mentioned, so I'd love for you to comment down below on the benefits that you've experienced. Thank you everyone for joining me today. I invite you to like and subscribe if you've enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.